Welcome back to my cozy corner of the internet. I'm Mayastar, and this is the Mayastar Podcast. I teach energy healing courses online through Mayastar Academy, share spiritual guidance and mystical musings on the Maya Muses blog, and provide healing, ritual and spellcasting services as a starseeded shaman and professional witch. And today is episode 54 in the Mayastar Unscripted series. We're going to be discussing Phoenix energy and the mythology of the Phoenix, and exploring ways it can inspire us on our own journey to wholeness. At the end of this episode, I'll be drawing from the Lemurian Star Child Oracle for our Starseed Guidance segment, where I'll present some ideas for reflection and meditation. You can view the card for this episode's oracle on the Mayastar Podcast YouTube channel by going to the channel homepage and then to the Community Posts tab. Find out about the different ways you can work with me and discover my energy healing and spiritual development courses by visiting my website at mayastar.net. You can also join the Mayastar mailing list to stay up to date with the latest special offers. As usual, I come armed with notes but without a script, so we'll be meandering around these topics and pursuing the scenic route to enlightenment. If this sounds interesting to you, stick around and while away some time with me as we explore these things together. So sit back, relax your shoulders, take a sip of chamomile tea, exhale deeply, and let's explore. So the Phoenix is a powerful symbol of transformation, of death and rebirth, and it's a very dramatic symbol, often depicted as a being of pure flame that can burn itself to ash and then suddenly rise again, renewed and replenished in all ways. It's completely unique, and it can inspire us to reflect on the cycles of our own lives, of our own death and rebirth cycles, as we leave behind elements of the past and embrace change and growth and renew ourselves by connecting with that Phoenix energy as we rise from our own ashes. But it isn't just the fire elemental energy that can draw us in. It represents a very deep spiritual truth relating to our energy body, to our energy and our consciousness. So I've been connecting with the Phoenix energy a lot in recent weeks in order to restore the Phoenix Reiki energy healing course, which combines two different attunements, but both related to Phoenix energy. So in working with this energy at this time of year, as the solar year is waxing and we're building towards midsummer, those fiery energies and the opportunities for transformation and rebirth are very much being expressed in the natural world around us. The phoenix symbolizes through inner strength. It can inspire us during times that we're extremely down or really struggling, to appreciate that things move in cycles, and even destruction and disintegration can be part of the process of growth and renewal. It can help us to gain perspective even during difficult times, and connecting with the energy of the phoenix can help us to align with that same determination, that continuity and resolution, so that we don't feel downhearted even during times that things are difficult. And I think reflecting on the idea that even the dark times can be part of the process is something that everybody needs to think about from time to time, and we usually don't do that until we're going through a very difficult time. It's much easier when you're feeling good to imagine that things will always be good. Whereas when you're going through a dark time, you're more likely to be open to the possibility that things will change. But change is part of the process. Change is part of how we are able to ascend during our lifetimes. It requires us to change, to let go of the past and embrace new possibilities if we're ever going to improve upon ourselves and come into a closer alignment with our highest spiritual principles. And you might think of the phoenix as being quite symbolic of passion and harnessing the power of your own will because of that fiery element. But also that fiery element can remind us to burn away the debris and the baggage of the past, so that we can move on without those things holding us back. The fire that the phoenix is created from is a force of transformation, maybe even purification, allowing us to come into a closer alignment with our inner truth. So the fire is inspiring us to rise, to grow, become stronger and wiser through our trials, to learn and to continue to progress, even though things move in apparent circles, as you're on the up and then you're on the down, and life seems to just go that way. The phoenix reminds us that we're always starting again from a position of new experience. So if we're open to that wisdom and that perspective, we can move on and become better and more confident, more comfortable in ourselves, and more able to retain our perspective even when things are not going well. And the sun reflects this journey of the phoenix as well, another fiery element, and the phoenix could be very much considered closely associated with the sun. The sun moves in its own cycles. Each day we see the sun rise for a new day and then set at the end of the day when we go through the period of darkness we call night. So you have the daily cycle, but you also have the annual cycle, where the sun becomes brighter and brighter until the summer solstice, and then it starts to diminish gradually as we move through the winter season and experience the darkest day of the year in the winter solstice. So these would be good times of year to connect with Phoenix energy, because the sun very much reflects those sacred cycles, those initiations and opportunities for growth. And something simple you might choose to do around the solstices, if you're using that as a time to connect with Phoenix energy, is to do a bit of self-therapy and to check in on yourself and see what you're holding on to. See what you're ready to let go of at this time. Are there roles that you no longer fit? Are there labels you've applied to yourself that no longer resonate? Have you overcome habits in the past 6 months and you're ready to consolidate the changes by acknowledging that things that you have done in the past are things that you are no longer going to be doing in the future? So it's a good point to touch base with yourself and let go of what's been and embrace your new and improved self, the new version of yourself. Another thought I had about connecting with Phoenix energy is that working with this energy reminds us that we don't have to wait for the circumstances to get perfect for us to actually commit to those changes. We often put things off, waiting for the energy to settle or waiting for Mercury to not be in retrograde or until we've achieved certain tasks and that kind of thing. But you don't need to wait. If it's time to let go of something that you've been carrying around, there's really no time like the present, and connecting with Phoenix energy can help you to ignite that passion, that motivation that allows you to be moved by hope and trust in the future and trust in yourself and what you're evolving to become, and let go of the past, where I think a lot of the time the resistance we have to embracing change and transformation is simply the fear of the unknown. And we'll dress it up in a lot of different ways so that we try not to call it fear. We'll try to, as I say, make excuses about the things, the checklist we need to meet before we're ready for this. How can I ascend to a higher level of consciousness when I haven't sorted out the sock drawer yet? I've got to do that. I mean, I can't be ascending to a higher plane with everything all mixed up like that. We can come up with a lot of excuses, ridiculous excuses, simply because we have a resistance to change that's actually inspired by fear. And if we can acknowledge that, it's easier for us to overcome it and to ignore the discomfort, appreciate that the discomfort is part of the cycle. That always happens when you're on the up. It's a bit like if you were trying to build muscles in the gym. You'd expect to feel a bit sore from time to time. It would be really weird if you didn't. It would be really ineffective if you never went through any difficulty or discomfort in your journey to health. And it's the same on your journey to wholeness. Sometimes it's uncomfortable and it's part of the process. And if you are open to that and you know to expect that, it doesn't take you by surprise. So we don't have to be 100% ready. We can choose to rise simply because we're aligning with that intention. Regardless of what's going on around us, sometimes it's just a case of doing the right thing. And this wouldn't be an unscripted episode if I didn't bring up the tarot, because there are several tarot cards that bring Phoenix energy to mind. The Death card, which is also about transformation, about releasing the past and embracing the future. And the World card, which is the final card in the major arcana. It represents completion, integration and wholeness, the sense of satisfaction that you can get after a long process, the completion of a long process, and also the Fool, which in the cycle of the major arcana would be the card that it starts the cycle and it begins the new cycle. So the Fool is at the beginning, the World card comes at the end, Death is somewhere in the middle, and then as we achieve the World, as we align with those energies of wholeness and completion, we start again on a new cycle from a point of more wisdom and experience, and then we start again and we complete the cycle again, but with a new perspective. So the archetypes of the tarot can help us to explore the myths and ideas around Phoenix energy. And the idea really is that your consciousness doesn't end. It evolves, the cycle continues, and it's moving in a spiral, so you're making progress. It may appear to be a circle while you're living it, but if you look back over the years, the decades, you'll see that it's a spiral and that every cycle has brought you another step closer to your true spiritual state. And I was also inspired to talk about dragon energy, because dragon energy is often paired with the Phoenix energy, and they're often represented together in Chinese mythology, where the dragon represents power and passion and will, and the phoenix represents grace and rebirth and intuition, the feminine cycles. So in combination, these two mythic beings represent the perfect balance of the yin and yang energetic currents that permeate all of creation and that work with and against each other to create the energy that we tap into when we're connecting with spiritual energy for healing or magic or whatever we're doing. But it's the interaction of that yin and yang energy that allows us to tap into what you might refer to as chi or life force energy, and maintaining a balance of those two forces, both the phoenix and the dragon energy, can help us to tap into that feeling of being centered and at peace. When we've got everything perfectly balanced, we're connected with both the yin and yang currents, and we're able to express them and experience them within us, we can achieve a perfect balance and a sense of completion, a sense of wholeness, again bringing me back to the world card and that sense of completion and contentment that you get when you've ticked all of the boxes and you've finally arrived. So you might want to reflect on that, to meditate on the idea that that inner dragon energy is the energy that gets you all motivated and passionate and fired up and getting things moving and actioning your intentions, putting things out into the world. And the phoenix energy within you is there to help you be creative and to reimagine yourself, to recreate yourself and rebuild, rebirth and transform. So connecting with both energies, reflecting on those different mythical beings as symbols of the divine masculine and divine feminine currents might be a good way to help you to connect with these archetypes. And I mentioned Phoenix Reiki earlier in this episode. Now, there are actually two different attunements that form this course. One is the Fire of the Phoenix Reiki, and the other is Shadow Phoenix Protection Reiki. So these represent two different sides of the Phoenix energy, the death and the rebirth cycles, the darker energy being the protective, grounding energy, and the fire energy being the rebirth and the ignition of your consciousness and creativity. So working with these both together can help you to bring in the balance. And the fire of the phoenix is exactly what it sounds like, the healing, transformational energy that can burn through the energetic field to clear blocks and dissolve fear and reignite your confidence and inner power. It's a fierce energy. It's also very motivating, but it's very healing at the same time. It's offering you a way to cleanse your energy field, to be renewed, whereas the shadow phoenix energy can help you to protect your energy field. It can also be used to help you resolve negative karma, to disconnect from the energetic debris within your energy field and allow you to retain your sovereignty as an energetic being. So especially if you're working on your healing journey to overcome some of your negative aspects and you're facing difficult experiences from the past perhaps, but also when you're learning to take accountability for the mistakes that you've made or the things that are not so desirable in your own psyche, then connecting with this energy can help you to stay grounded and feel protected during those times, those difficult transformations that might leave you feeling a bit wobbly and a bit ungrounded. I've also shared a Phoenix meditation on my blog. It will be 2 or 3 weeks back by the time this episode goes live. So if you go to the Maya Muses blog at blog.mayastar.net, look out for the Phoenix article and for the meditation that I've shared on there. that can help you to connect with the Phoenix energy. And it's a simple but powerful visualization exercise that you can use, especially if you're feeling stuck or you're in a period of transition, you're feeling blocked or you're feeling uncertain. That would be a great time to connect with those energies. And the meditation can help you to do that. Additionally, you can check out the Phoenix Reiki Energy Healing Attunement course on my website at mayastar.net if you want to be attuned to those energies by me so that you can connect with them as part of your healing practice. And if there's one thing you take from today's Phoenix related discussion, it's that transformation is a process, it's an ongoing process and something that you'll be doing throughout your life and probably beyond it. It's a process. You don't just let go of the past, embrace the future, and that's it, you've done it. You've achieved that, and now you can just stay exactly as you are for the rest of your life. Life is going to continue to offer you opportunities for growth and personal transformation. So by connecting with the Phoenix energy within you, you can remind yourself that you're a work in progress. We all are. And that change, while difficult, is a blessing. It's an opportunity. It's a gift from the universe. And now we come to the starseed guidance segment, where we seek some spiritual inspiration for the week, drawn from the Lemurian Star Child Oracle, which I've been using to connect with my Lemurian guides, for ideas we can reflect on and use as a jumping off point for our spiritual work. And today's card is titled Sacred Mountain. It shows a volcano, I think, or it could be a path of light leading to the top of a mountain. And the fire at the top of the mountain could be a phoenix. There's also a person on the path and a dolphin and trees. So it has a sense of life and light and growth, and it's very colourful, but the colours are mainly pink and purple and lilac. So it's giving a sense of the third eye and crown chakras, feeling of ascension and achieving higher consciousness. But let's have a look at the guidebook and see what it has for us today. A sacred mountain, vision quest, clarity and truth, Shambhala, deep healing, supporting Earth's ascension, healing the unconscious, as I am welcomed onto the healing slopes of the sacred mountain. I am invited also to remember Shambhala, my crystalline home. The sacred mountain tells of the journey of vision and purpose. Energy vortices and resonant caverns are calling you, for they are spaces that bring clarity to the mind, even when it's overthinking its linear processes. The sacred mountain is a sanctuary of deep peace, which cannot be affected by emotional turmoil. Lemurians know of the power of the mountain and see it as a place of sacred ceremony. It is a place of great harmony, insight, and energy healing. and also a gathering place to initiate new projects and to celebrate new relationships. Can you feel the renewed sense of purpose, the higher vision that is received in your pineal gland? It activates the wisdom that's already in your heart, so give it attention to let it emerge. Connect to the sacred mountain to integrate this vision of wisdom in your conscious awareness. So this is very much aligned with the Phoenix energy. We're talking about leaving behind the limitations of the past, making progress on the ascension journey, releasing yourself from the old paradigms and the old ways of being, and embracing your potential, your true spiritual potential. So if you do feel drawn to connect with this card, it might be a good symbol to meditate on, reflecting on your progress and the opportunities that you have at the moment to progress your path to wholeness and higher consciousness. And we have an affirmation at the end of the section for this card. I embrace the power and majesty of the mountain, allowing it to remove the residues of the old paradigm. Again, it's a very Phoenix-like energy to connect with. So, as usual, these cards never disappoint. They always seem relevant to what we've been talking about. And I'll leave an image of this card posted on the Mayastar Podcast YouTube channel. So visit the channel and then go to the community post section so you can check out the card and see if it resonates with you, if it's something you want to meditate on today. But as always, take only what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. If you've enjoyed today's Unscripted, please let me know in the comments section. Give the podcast a like or a 5-star review so that the algorithm can get some idea of what sort of audience they should be sharing these episodes to. And if you know anybody who might find this information useful or inspiring, please share it with them. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you're leaving this episode suffused with good vibes and great ideas. You can hear more from me today by exploring previous Unscripted episodes. And remember that these episodes are pre-recorded and inspired by the comprehensive articles on my blog. So to learn more and read my guidance and top tips, please visit the Maya Muses blog at blog.mayastar.net, where you can also join my mailing list. I hope to see you back here again soon, and in the meantime, I wish you peace, prosperity, and progress in all you do. With blessings.